A Florida teacher who was beaten, they say about a 270-pound student in a viral video, has refused to help the teen's defense lighten his sentence. Brendan Deppa, then 17, they say hurled Matanzas High School paraprofessional Joan Nadick, it said, to the ground. It said then could be seen on the video, it said kicking and punching her in the back, it said in the head more than a dozen times before he was pulled off by the staff. So the troubled teen told investigators he attacked her, he said, because teachers ordered him to stop playing a video game on a Nintendo Switch. Now, Deppa, who's charged with an adult, faced up to 30 years in prison for a first-degree felony charge of aggravated battery. Are you serious? Now, I seen the video. Yes, the video's bad, but 30 years? Like, are you serious? 30 years? It ain't no way I'm going to say he should go to jail for 30 years for that. 30 years is somebody who killed somebody. That's what 30 years is for. Like, to me, it's an assault. And, I think something should happen, but not 30 freaking years, man. Come on. Now, they say, according to the news, that Nadick has shown no interest in mitigating what penalties Deppa might face. An autistic teen who was pled guilty to avoid trial was initially charged as a juvenile in the case before the raps, were upgraded. It says still Judge Terrence Perkins, it says still has the option of sentencing him as a youth and meting out a penalty as low as probation. It said the teen's disabilities will likely weigh on his decision. Now 18, Deppa has 3 prior battery arrests before the shocking February attack. It said on the teacher who was treated at the hospital after assault. Now Deppa, he's a 6'6" tall kid. He had autism. So it's not like he was just, without an issue. And even during his arrest, he had threatened to harm the teacher. It was initially reported that the teacher had personally confiscated a Nintendo device from him. But she, denied doing so in subsequent interviews. Now, Deppa is also slated to issue a plea later this month and will be sentenced after that in a separate proceeding. But, now I will say this much. Give him probation. That's how I look at it. I mean, he didn't, harm, like maim her. I would say give him probation because that's what you do to the white ones. So give him probation. He shouldn't get no jail time. If he's in jail right now, give him time served and probation and let that child and give him some, if anything, give him some mental health treatment. That's what he needs, mental health treatment. He don't need to be in there with a bunch of people that's killers and everything else that's in jail. But you see, this is what happened to our kids. This is what happens. And I told y'all, just as time go along, my patience level with some of it is not as where it used to be. Let's say even when I first started doing this, because once you see that people are just a certain way, right? Like anti-black racism rules the land. You can see a white kid do the exact same thing, has autism, and he'll get probation. But a black kid, he's facing 30 years. For him to even say you're facing 30 years is ridiculous. He didn't take nobody's life. He didn't. But we're going to keep up with this case and just see what this kid is sentenced.